Hello everyone, welcome to your own forum. This forum. On this forum, what we're going to do is we're going to share the wisdoms. When I say the we, it includes you everybody, because it is said that it is always good to use the wisdom than your sorrows and then your gust. So I would welcome everybody to come on the forum, come on this forum and share your wisdoms with your friends. And the reason for this starting of this forum is that I have been continuously over the long span of my life, I've been receiving the calls. I have been receiving the people who always come to me and say, Bhaijan, could you help me? Bhaijan, could you guide me? This is not my capacity. It is the capacity of everybody. Everybody has a wisdom, and everybody has a people around him who are always seeking or coming to them. The numbers, there will be people which might be having the lesser number of the peoples, a few peoples, and there will be a lot of the peoples who will be having a long queue of the people who are coming to them via physical presence or via telephone calls or you name it, anything, via emails. A few days back, I got a call from a colleague of mine who remained my somehow student sometimes, and he knew me and he called me, and he was having a very low voice when he called me, and he said, Sarji, how are you? So I'm fine, dear, fine. Sarji, you see, I'm very depressed. I'm very depressed, and during this depression, I looked out. I thought who is the person to whom should I call? And your name came the number one. So I'm calling you. And I know when I'm going to call you, but I'm going to spend some time with you, half of my problems, at least for a couple of days, will be over. Because that remained the routine. Anyhow, he shared his story, and that is not the story of that friend of mine. Actually, that is the story of everybody we know around us. A lot of us. Maybe I'm also part of that. This is the story of everybody. There are a lot of the people, they are having a lot of problems, and they are trying to reach out to the people, to the resources who can help them resolve those issues. And probably the issues remain there. And you know why? Because issue is, the solution is not outside in. They are seeking their solutions outside, from the outside. And the solution is not the outside. It is somewhere inside. Let me recall analogy or a wisdom story shared by my granddaughter some years back. And he told me what you call the wazir of a king. And he was, his king asked him, okay, let's come up with the solutions so that we can resolve the problem of each and everybody. So he said, King, you cannot do it. You cannot do it. But I can do it, I can identify it. I can identify it, who is the enemy. So the king announced that, okay, when should people come? And they set a date. So at that date, Wazir kept a room, and he asked everybody to go into the room and come out. And in the room, there was a glass on the wall. It was a mirror. And people went over there. So they go and they come out. They go and they come out. They go and come out. And nobody is telling that what was the truth. Whether they have found the name of their enemy or not. Then the king went over there himself, and he also saw nothing. But after all, he was a king. He saw his face. So he was very angry with the wazir, and he said, what is this nonsense? I asked you for the solutions, and what you have given it? It's a mirror. He said, Bacha Slaman, Jaan ki aman paun. So actually that is the issue. Nobody can help you. Nobody can resolve your issues. People can guide you. People can motivate you. People can maybe help you identify the issues. But the solution is inside out. You are your enemy. And let me share another analogy which somebody shared with me. And that will be a good, I think, starting point for today's talk. And that is, he said, let's assume that you just purchased an Apple latest computer and you found an email that says that this email contains a virus. If you're going to open it, it is going to destroy your computers, the entire data set. And he asked the question, would you open that email? And the natural answer is, nobody is going to open that email. You know why? Naturally, because the computer is very expensive. That is very precious to you. So you would never like that computer to be corrupted. So you're never going to open. Then that email, that analogy suggests that what is the most precious asset of human being, which differentiate human from the others, creatures, humanities, and that is your mind, that is your brain. And how on earth we cannot do anything to protect that precious assets from the negative energies and negative viruses. And what are those negative energies and those viruses? That are the negative inputs, negative thoughts coming from everywhere, coming from inside, coming from outside. But we are not protecting. You see, all of us from our childhood have made huge efforts to educate our kids, to educate ourselves. For what? To earn the degree. Why? Because they could earn the good living, because they could compete in the world. But let's assume you got the degree, you got the best of the best degrees, you got the best of the best job, you got the best of the best resources. Will that be sufficient? If you are not happy in your life? When I say if you are not happy in your life, what does this mean? This means either physically or mentally or spiritually, can anything is going to, that money is going to save you? Can you really be happy? The answer is no. Why not? Because the markets are full of the makeup items, clothes. There's a huge grocery stores full of stuff. And, I see in my place, there are huge, a lot number of mega stores. Everywhere, wherever we go, makeup stores, hair salons, everything. It's abundant, in abundance. But you know how many books shops we have? I think I can count, if I count, the maximum number would be 10. In the largest city, I think, if not in the world, maybe at least for Pakistan, the Karachi. How many bookstores are there? And you know why? Because nobody reads the books. And because we don't read the book, and that's why I say the readers are the leaders. And we don't have the leaders. We don't create the leaders. How many people from this nation has reached to the level where they can be called the real leaders? Of course, there are few names, but not proportionally to that amount, to the amount of the population we have. Why not? Because we don't have the libraries, we don't have the books, we don't have the readers. And the topmost, the latest, I would call the latest issue is that people are stick to the TV, a negative media campaign, always. Media is designed by design to highlight, to relay the negativity. And we are glued to the television. We are glued to our iPhones, social media, which is full of the negativity. I'm not saying you cannot use to have the positive use. There is a positive use. But our mind is programmed for the negativity, comfort zone. That is where you feel comfort. You want sensation in your life. So you are glued to the media. But none of us, how many people have not watched the television, have not touched their telephone or their social areas in last 1 hour? And I tell you, there won't be many, maybe few, but there won't be many. And if I ask the another questions, how many people have really thought from inside out that they have to enrich their life, they have to have the happy, and that happiness which we call the ripple effect that comes from inside? How many people have made a try to find it out? And I tell you, it is not difficult. We all can have it. We all can resolve it. We can all be happy. And master key, the golden key, is in your hands. And the golden key is self-awareness. It is the awareness. And we call it the emotional intelligence. But that is not the only thing which is going to help you resolve the issue. And let's assume today that you have become the emotionally aware. You got the, your mind full of the intellect. Your IQ has risen to the Einstein mind. Even then, you might not be happy. Why? Because still there are two other aspects, very precious aspects of your life, which me and you are ignoring. And one of them is your health, is your physical fitness. How many of you and me have set the targets in your life that you are going to change your physical output, physical outlook? How many of you and me has done it? I'm sure there will be people, but not a lot. We have to take care of that physical, because that is us. That is inside out. But even if you have done that physical, you are intellectually there, you are emotionally there. But if you have not given a direction to your life, where are heading, which is the highest, what is the highest objective of your life, the target of your life? And that's come from the spiritual well-being. What you have done, I call it lucky to have born in the Muslim family, where religion is the top priority by default. And when I say by default, that means there are a lot of things which we take as a granted. So we are Muslim by default, but not by the choice. Why I say we are Muslim by the default, not by the choice? Because how many of us has tried to enrich our lives, the spiritual life, by studying the guidance from our whatsoever is your religion, for the religious books? I think all of us, even I myself, as enrolled my kids into the universities and to the colleges, but hardly ever guided them in that way, in that intensity to the spiritual well-being. Not at all. But I think, having said this, I think nothing is lost. We all can do it. We all can achieve happiness. And that is what we are going to talk on this forum. And this forum is not for me. It is your forum. And this forum is not confined to any particular language. It will be a multi-language forum. If you speak Urdu, wonderful. आपका forum है. Come here. If you speak Punjabi, ये ताड़ा forum है. How? गल करो, share करो, wisdom share करो. क्योंकि माशरे के अंदर आपने wisdom, दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा richest और सबसे ज्यादा virtuous काम जो है, that is sharing your wisdom. तो तुसी अपनी wisdom आगे share करो. If you have any other language, if you have Hindi, if you have, you name the language, whatsoever is the language, whatsoever is the country, this forum is for you. And come and share your wisdoms. I'm going to open up this forum for all of you. But let me, start with the first thought, जिसको कहते हैं पहला कंकर मैं खुद मारता हूँ आज. पहली wisdom मैं खुद share करता हूँ इस forum पे लोगों के साथ. Let me share my first wisdom to my people. मेरा बड़ा दिल कर रहा है honestly speaking, क्योंकि मेरी मदर टंग जो है वो पंजाबी है और मेरी नेशनल टंग जो है दैट्स उर्दू. मेरा दिल कर रहा है मैं उर्दू में बात करूँ इस वक्त. But actually I want to reach out to the all sort of the peoples. Okay? So मेरे जितने भी भाई जो उर्दू में बात करना चाहता है, जो पंजाबी में बात करना चाहता है, जो बलोची में बात करना चाहता है, जो सिंधी में बात करना चाहता है, and in whatsoever language you want to talk, come to this forum. This forum is open. I will come to you, I will reach to you, and will ensure that you come and speak out your mind, speak out your wisdom, share your wisdoms. Okay? Now let me share the first thing, the first thought. And the first thought is, and I'm thankful to the friends who have called me, why we people are not happy despite of achievements on almost a lot of fronts. We have got the degrees, we got the good jobs, and sometimes we got the good health, but still we are not happy. Answer is, life begins when the egg is broken from the inside, and life ends when the egg is broken from the outside. And let's start. Let's explore yourself, and let's explore your mindset. You know, we are always investing our times to evaluate others, to criticize them, to gauge them. But how many times we have tried to evaluate ourselves, to look into ourselves, to gauge ourselves? What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? Where we can strive? What is that which we want in our life and are doing in our life? Because you don't get what you want, you get what you do. You don't get what you want, you get what you do. So what are we doing? Let's take the first step. Let's take the first step. And the first step is explore your mindset. And when I say the mindset, you would find huge number of mindsets, which I call the full of negative energy. And let me say what is the first mindset, the first mindset is the victimized, we call the mindset of the victimization, the blaming mind. बाज़ औक़ात मेरे बच्चे भी कहते हैं, पापा ये जो हमारी खराबियां हैं ये आपकी वजह से, ये जो मैं ये नहीं अचीव कर सका मैं आपकी वजह से. और मैं कहता हूँ यार बिल्कुल इसमें मेरा कसूर होगा. I might have a fault, but to be very honest, you know, a good number of my kids, they have achieved the success in their life. Okay? And they have not achieved success in their life because of me, because they have done themselves. I tell you, they have not, achieved that because of my wife, or because of the other things. Because of they have done something. So you have to do it. So it is your mind, but not the victimization mind. Why? Because when you have a blaming mind, what you do is, when you see, a friend of you succeeding, passing you, he's going to, when he scores, higher number in the class, when you see him, succeeding in the life, when he is getting more salary than you, when he is having, better health than you, when you see, he is more happy than you, what you see? You feel jealousy. Why? Because of the mindset. You see, you blame others for you say, अगर ये ना होता तो मैं आज जो है ना इससे बहुत आगे होता, लेकिन क्योंकि इसने मुझे गाइड नहीं किया. I know a lot of my friends, even my kids, they said, Papa, that friend of mine, she's not good. I said, why? She has not shared with me. She was knowing, but she did not share with me. And I tell her, Beta, if they were knowing, that's a good thing. And if they did not share it, and they were not supposed to share it with you, and they were not bound to share it with you, you should have, learned yourself. They are not the responsible. You are responsible for your knowledge. So why you didn't make effort to know it? Okay? So instead of being envious, instead of being jealous, which is a negative thought, you get the inspirations. When you get the jealousy, what you do is, you get the anger, you get the negativity. And you see, when you are angry, the emotions, the age or the span of emotion is a few seconds. But when you react to those emotions with the negative energy, that might consume your hours, maybe your day, maybe your week, maybe your month, maybe your entire life, then can keep you disturbed for a few hours, maybe the day, few days, few weeks, few months, few years, and maybe the entire life. And you call it a depression. Why? Because of that negative energy you have received. Because of your mindset. You blame others for your failures in the life. And the positive side is, if you are having the proactive mindset, and the mindset we call the abundance mindset, which what it says, the world is full of wisdoms. The world is full of energy. The world is full of opportunities. The world is full of the knowledge. And when you share it, it's not going to, you are not going to lose anything. You are going to enrich yourself. And if some friend of yours, they are going to, pass you in that, the human race, they are the inspirations. They are not the enemies. There's a huge for you. I give an example. Let's assume there's a friend of yours. Let's assume, because I have a good number of people in my family who are the doctors, especially my daughters. So let's assume their friend of yours is a doctor and she has done the MD. And when you came to know, you become angry to her. Why you have not told me that you are doing this? You've done it, without sharing with me, without telling with me. And you become the jealous. And when you do the jealousy, you curse yourself and you distract yourself. You fill your mind with the negative energy. And you don't do anything to take you forward. You're taking yourself backward. But if you take it positively, abundance mindset, you say, okay, congratulations, very good. I'm happy that you've done it. Let's share how you done it. Let's share. And I tell you, when you want somebody to share his wisdom with you, the key is with you. And you know what is the key? I tell you, when me and you are talking, and we can talk only when we have a connection. Okay? If we don't have that connection, we cannot probably talk. And this analogy, you take it further to the people at every level. If you want to have a connection with your parents, with your children, with your fellow family members, with your brothers, with your sisters, with your neighbors, with your colleagues in the office, you have to establish that connection with them. Without developing that connections, you cannot reach to them. And that connection is heart-to-heart connection. And how can you develop that? Because people, they don't listen to you first. You have to listen to them first. You have to empathize. You have to declare them the VIPs, the special. Mera ek mantra hai, a mantra in my life. And that's why, I always have a good friend of people surround me. And the mantra in my life is, whenever somebody comes to you to seek out any help, any wisdom or anything, always remember, his issue, Allah Mighty is going to resolve. It is not you who are going to resolve. Allah is going to resolve. Allah is going to provide them with the wisdom to do it. He has come to you because Allah wanted you to have that award, to have that credit that you have done it. Actually, you don't do it. It is the Allah which does it. But Allah has sent you as his, I call it the angel. So when anybody comes to me in my office, if my colleagues or my friends are listening to me, and they will recall, and I always say, when you come to see me, I tell you, I see you an angel. And what would you do if you know that some angel is sitting in front of you? What would you do? Would you ask his grade? Would you ask his color? Would you ask his race? Would you ask his bank balance? Nothing. He's an angel, man. So what would you do to make that angel happy? To do anything you can do for that. And that should be the essence of the mantra of your abundant mindset. Whenever somebody comes to you, or whenever you want to go to the body, consider them the special angel of the gods. So how God would like you to treat your angels? That speciality, that VIP treatment you have to give to others. And I tell you, when you treat those people special around you, and if you are familiar with the law of attractions, there's energy, it's environment, full of energy. If you have a negative people around you, your life, your environment will be full of the negative energy. This is going to damage you. That's why it is said that if you have got 5 drug addicted in your company, remember, you will be the 6th one. And if you have 4, 5 Einstein in your company, there is a blessing, there's a good news. You will be the 6th one. So be mindful of the people you move around. Are you surrounded with the negative people or negative energy? Are you surrounded with the positive people and the positive energy? This is especially to my kids, the BB kids. You see, are you surrounded with the good people or bad people? So that energy, you take that energy with you. You have to. And always remember, you don't choose your parents. You don't choose your family members. You don't choose your relatives. But friends, you choose your friends. Be mindful. Who you are going to choose, your friend. Would you like your special asset, your computer, to be damaged by the virus, or would you want to protect it? So protect your mind from the virus. That is your mind. Protect it from the negative energy and the bad people, bad company. Get yourself surrounded with the people who are full of energy, positive energy. So when you have a person with you sitting in front of you, I tell you, if you are empathetic, if you can put in place yourself into his shoes and try to listen to him. When I say the listening, you don't listen with your ears only. Actually, it's your entire body which listens. See, there's a full science, there's a topic, the body language or the science, language of the science. Science. Your body speaks. Your eye speaks. Your mouth speaks. Your face speaks. Your head speaks. Your entire body speaks. And your entire body gives energy. And that is what is going to tell the persons whether you are listening to him or not. And if you can shake that person with that energy of the love, the positive energy, I'm telling you, you are going to establish the connection with that person. And once you develop the connection with that person, rest is not an issue. Everything will be resolved. Nobody will be your enemy. Everybody will be your friend. It is always said that if you want to eliminate or kill your enemy, make him a friend. Can you identify anybody who doesn't have any enemy? I think hardly few. Even I am a bit, bit doubtful. What should I say? But to be very honest, I don't have many enemies. और मेरे दोस्त मुझे कहते हैं कि यार तुम तो तकरीबन yes minister हो. And they say in the negative that you want to please everybody. And you know what I say? Yes, you might be right. My family sometimes says that you're helping others always. Why on earth and how on earth you can do it and why do you do it? You know what you get out of it? You spend your resources, you spend your time, you spend your relationships, to help others. While there are whole lot of issues, other precious issues, and you don't, you just forget everything and you start helping others. Why do you do that? I say you might be right. And I see there are a lot of the people talking in the media as well that you cannot make everybody happy. And if you try and do so, you are actually a sick mind. It's a mind sickness. If you do that, you don't want to be face to the people's, the annoyance. You don't want to annoy anybody. But I have a different point of view. You see, what you share with people is what you have. If I have happiness, if I have respect, if I have a dignity, if I have integrity, I will trade off that. I don't have a negativity. So why should I trade that? And in all that endeavors, if I happen to, maybe, spend my time, my energy, my resources to help that guy, to make him happy, I think I'm more happy. And even, to the extent in my professional life, in my private life, a huge number of times it has happened that there are always, the number of people who are always, full of the negative energy, who are the jealous or the negative, and they are trying to harm you in one way or the other. But when it comes time for you to take the revenge, you don't take. And if you don't take, that is me. I've never done this. और मेरे वो बीबे दोस्त जो इधर आगे पीछे मेरे बैठे हुए इस वक्त काफी सारे, जो मेरे बाद में बड़े अच्छे दोस्त बन गए, उन्होंने बहुत एफर्ट की, मुझे नुकसान पहुंचाने की कोशिश की, बट अल्टीमेटली I did good with them. I always helped them. I never tried to victimize anybody. And my friend said, why are you helping this man? You don't know he has done this, said that, फलां किया, तुम्हारे लिए ऐसी बात की, फलाने लिए फलानी जगह फलानी बात की. Yes. I say, he has done, हमारे उर्दू में कहते हैं, उसने अपने ज़र्फ के मुताबिक काम किया. उसका जितना ज़र्फ था, उसने अपने ज़र्फ के मुताबिक काम किया. मेरा जितना ज़र्फ है, मैं अपने ज़र्फ के मुताबिक काम करूं. अपने ज़र्फ को बड़ा करो भाई. देखें, there are two things, when it comes to, looking outside, looking toward the peoples. एक हम कहते हैं, हमारी एक गलती है, when we see others, we wanted to see them according to our frame of mind. Okay? And that is boundary, there's a limit, There will be a whole lot of the people who might be fitting perfectly within your frame of mind. और आप कहेंगे यार ये बड़ी बीबी आदमी है यार, ये तो बिल्कुल वैसे ही यार जैसा मैं चाहता था. But there will be the huge lot of the people जो आपके फ्रेम ऑफ माइंड से बाहर जा रहे होंगे, ठीक है, जो उससे बड़े होंगे. तो आपने उनको छोटा नहीं करना. You are not going to belittle them according to your narrow frame of mind, but you enlarge your frame of mind to understand them. And that you can only do with the abundance mindset. And that abundance mindset is all about being self-aware. आपके इमोशंस क्या हैं, कौन कौन सी नेगेटिविटी है जिनको आपने पॉजिटिविटी में कन्वर्ट करना है. What are your weaknesses? And weaknesses, when it comes to seeing the success of the friends, how do you react? Do you feel jealous? It's a negativity. It's a negative emotion. If you are feeling that, mind it. Your mindset is scarcity mindset. कि इसको मिला मुझे नहीं मिलेगा. छुपाते हैं आप हेल्प नहीं करते, खुशी में खुश नहीं होते. You don't do that. Why? Because आप नेगेटिव एनर्जी से, और उसके नतीजे में ना आप उसको कुछ देते हैं और ना आपको कुछ मिलता है. But if you are full of the positive energy, if you want to help them, if you want to seek out, उनको हेल्प करना चाहते हैं, be empathetic. उनको हेल्प करने की कोशिश, उनकी खुशी में खुश हो जाए. Get the inspiration. और इसी तरीके से when it comes to developing the relationship with the people, always remember, लोगों को आपने फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड करना है, अपने आप को अंडरस्टैंड करना है, कनेक्शन डेवलप करना है. When you are going to develop the connections, definitely you are going to develop that. और लोगों के साथ जब आप पॉजिटिव एनर्जी के साथ जाएंगे, with the positive mindset, you will be able to do it. So having said this, अभी मैं देख रहा हूँ कि काफी टाइम हो गया है, काफी लंबा होता जा रहा है ये मेरा फोरम. But let me conclude, come to the conclusion of this entire session. And let me first once again reinforce that the Sajana the Mahfil, the friends company, a friends sittings, a friends forum, this is your forum. And I would like each of you to come to this forum and share your wisdoms. This forum is yours. This is free of cost. Anybody can come in. And through, any media, we can be on the Zoom, we can be physically over there. And whatsoever, today the world has become the global village. हमें यहाँ पर विजडम शेयर करनी है, अपने लिए, अपने दोस्तों के लिए, अपने बच्चों के लिए, अपनी फैमिली मेंबर्स के लिए, अपने मुल्क के लिए, प्यारे पाकिस्तान के लिए, पूरी दुनिया के लिए. पूरा दुनिया हमारा मुल्क है, पूरी दुनिया हमारी कम्युनिटी है. ह्यूमैनिटी, वी आर मुसलमान हैं, वी केयर फॉर द होल ह्यूमैनिटी. क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ कहते हैं जब आपने किसी एक इंसान की जान ली तो आपने पूरी दुनिया की जान ले ली. Okay, so we are there for the peace around the globe. Let's come to this forum. We'll do it. Number one. Number two, the most precious thing you have is your mind. Let's nurture it. and we will be nurturing our mind over here, okay? And not only the mind, we will be making effort to nurture your body, to nurture your heart, to nurture your spirit. So that is the primarily the major, what you call the contour of this, this forum. Issues कह लें जब हम डिस्कस करेंगे. You can have any other as well, but initially I think for timing हम कोशिश करेंगे that हम लोग बैठ के एटलीस्ट जो है अपने इस जो प्रेशियस गिफ्ट है, हमारा माइंड जो है, हमारी जो बॉडी है, हमारी जो सोल है, हमारा जो हार्ट है, इसकी बेहतरी के लिए कुछ कर सकें. और हमेशा याद रखना है, it is inside out. It is a ripple effect. When egg is broken from the inside, life begins. When egg is broken from outside, life ends. Another thing which I am going to tell you, always remember, the words are world. Think on words. Word is a power, not the world. Word is a world. अल्फाज पावर है, अल्फाज दुनिया है. Think on it, ponder on it. And let me finish with the word which I want to share with you. That is हुस्न ज़न. उर्दू में कहते हैं हुस्न ज़न. मेरे ख्याल है probably in Arabic as well. It is in English. Probably you can say you are going to have a good beliefs about others. अब हुस्न ज़न से होता क्या है? You become proactive. And that is another, the word which is close to this, When you are proactive, what happens? What is the opposite of the proactive? Proactive is you take the responsibility. This means you are responsible. You take the responsibility. And reaction is you don't take the responsibility. You react. When you react, you are disempowering yourself. अपने आप को कमजोर कर रहे हैं. And when you proact, you are empowering yourself. Let's empower ourselves. And how can you empower yourself? By being proactive. And proactive क्या है? Let's assume, let me share one analogy over here. Stephen Covey in book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People says, share one analogy, and that analogy is that let's assume there is a death procession going on. Let's further assume that there are a whole lot of the people who are walking with that death procession. Let's assume that people are talking about the person who is in the coffin, whose dead body is there in the coffin. And they're talking about that person. What kind of people are going to talk? They are going to talk good if the person is good. They will say he was a man of integrity. He was a very honest person. He was a very helping person. He was a very kind person. He was a very upright person. He did this. He did this to me. I am proud of him. I am his relative. I am his friend. He was my friend. He was very great. He will go to Jannah. Let's assume further. He says, let's assume that the dead person has an ear. He can hear that. You know what is being said about him. So what sort of things he would like to hear? Naturally, very kind person, very, very good person, all positivity. And let's further assume that it is your dead body. It is your death procession going on. Do you think what sort of talk people are going to, do at your death procession? आपके जनाजे के अंदर लोग किस तरह की गुफ्तगू करेंगे? क्या आप उसको रिकॉल कर सकते हैं? क्या आप उसको अज्यूम कर सकते हैं किस तरह की गुफ्तगू? और मेरे ख्याल है बहुत सारे लोग सोच में पड़ गए होंगे कि वो कैसी गुफ्तगू करेंगे हमारे बारे में, क्योंकि वी नो आवरसेल्व्स. अल्लाह ताला ने बड़ा पर्दा रखा हुआ है हमारे ऊपर. बहुत सारी खामियां हैं, कुछ को हमने वक्त के साथ इंप्रूव किया, लेकिन स्टिल बहुत सारी खामियां, उनको हमने दूर करना है. कहता है दिस इज नॉट द एंड ऑफ लाइफ. दिस इज नॉट द एंड ऑफ लाइफ. ना ये आपका जनाजा है, ना ये आपकी बॉडी है, और ना ये अभी आप मरे हैं. देयर इज अ टाइम. लेकिन बट रिमेंबर द टाइम इज गोइंग टू कम. यू आर गोइंग टू डाई वन डे एंड पीपल आर गोइंग टू talk about you. What are the sort of talks you want people to talk about you? If you want to say, I would like to hear the good things, be the person what you want people to say. I would love to talk more on it, and I think I would, I don't want to finish it. I don't want to finish it. There are whole lot of things which I want to share. I'm bursting with energy to share the wisdom with you people. But I think we have to close this forum with this thought that you are the positive energy. Let's assume, let's make yourself a positive energy. आखिरी बात, एक आखिरी बात, आप जिस तरह के भी हैं, whatsoever you make a call about yourself, whatsoever you want to be, put a tag on your that, माथे पे वो लगाए, put a tag on that. What tag would you like, to fit here? Angry young man or उदास? हमारा एक दोस्त है, sorry to, whenever you go to him and if you ask, brother, I don't want to mention the name, brother, how are you, कैसे हो तुम? And he will say, बड़ी आ भर के, पाजी क्या पूछते हो यार, जिंदगी यार आजाद बन गई है, तेरी पाबी बीमार है, ओ तेरा भतीजा ये हो गया है, and the time 30 minutes you spend with him, and you are by the time he departs, you are dead with the negative energy. Don't be that. What tags you want to put on yourself? When people come to, do you want to be the catalyst? आप उसको एनर्जी देना चाहते हैं? एक लास्ट विजडम अगर आप मुझे इजाजत दे दें, प्लीज एक, और ये मैं उर्दू में शेयर करना चाहूंगा, क्योंकि मजा आता है अपनी लैंग्वेज में जब आप बात करते हैं, और मेरी जो बता रहा हूं, मेरी जो पावर है ना, जब मैं उर्दू में बात करता हूं तो उसका लेवल ही कुछ और होता है। एक फकीर आदमी जो है, एक फकीर मनुष्य जो है, जंगल में बैठा होता है, किसी जंगल में, और ये मेरे दादाजी ने मुझे स्टोरी सुनाई थी, वो एक एस्पेक्ट है, मैं किसी को शेयर करूंगा। तो उसको एक बंदा जो है, एक गरीब आदमी, एक गरीब लकड़हारा नजर आता है, तो वो उसके पास कोई खाने की चीजें होती हैं, तो वो बाबा जी से मिलता है, तो बाबा जी के पास जाता है, तो अपना खाना शेयर करता है बाबा जी के साथ। तो बाबा जी को खाना खा लेते हैं, तो खाना खाने के बाद बाबा जी कहते हैं, बेटा तूने मेरे एक नेबर थे चाचा, जो कहते थे कि पुत्र तू मेरा मुंह हिलाया, अल्लाह तेरा सिर हिलाए। जब उनको खाना खिलाते तो कहते तू मेरा मुंह हिलाया, अल्लाह तेरा सिर हिलाए। तो उन्होंने कहा कि मैं आपको जो है ना कुछ देना चाहता हूँ, ये ले जाओ। और वो एक पोटली देते हैं जिसके अंदर एक हीरा होता है। उस बच्चे को नहीं पता कि ये हीरा है। वो कहते हैं इसको जाओ और मुख्तलिफ लोगों को इसका सिर्फ रेट लगा के मेरे पास आ जाना, ठीक है। वो जाता है, पहले किसी ग्रोसरी स्टोर पे जाता है, और ग्रोसरी स्टोर वाले को वो अपनी चीज दिखाता है। तो वो कहता है ठीक है यार, मैं तुझे 1 किलो चीनी दे देता हूँ, इसके बदले में 100 रुपया दे देता हूँ। वो कहता है यार ये तो बहुत कम है। वो दूसरी जगह पे चला जाता है। दूसरा, लेट्स अज्यूम कोई इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का स्टोर है, उसके पास चला जाता है कि यार ये है मेरे पास, यार कोई एक्सचेंज में कोई चीज़ दे दो। वो कहता है अच्छा ओके, मैं तुझे इस्त्री दे देता हूँ, हेयर ड्रेसिंग की कोई मशीन दे देता हूँ, यार इसे दे देता हूँ, मेरी इसकी वैल्यू। फिर वो चला जाता है किसी एंटीक की शॉप पे, वो एंटीक वाले को दिखाता है। यार एंटीक वाले तो मतलब पुरानी चीज़ों में ज़रा इंटरेस्टेड होते हैं। वो देखते हैं, वो कहता है अच्छा यार इसमें कुछ चीज़ें हैं, वैसे ठीक है। वो कहता है यार तुझे 1000 रुपया दे देता हूँ। तो वो कहता है यार ये भी जो है ना, कम से कम 4 लोगों के पास तो जाऊँ। फिर वो एक हीरे की दुकान पे चला जाता है। जब वो हीरे की दुकान पे चला जाता है तो जौहरी तो पहचानता है कि ये क्या चीज़ है, और वो कीमती पत्थर होता है। जौहरी उसे पूछता है यार तो पत्थर कहाँ से लाया, ये तो बहुत रेयर है, ये तो बहुत रेयर है भाई, और इसकी कीमत तो मिलियंस में है। उसने कहा तुम बेचना चाहोगे? उसने कहा ठीक है बेचना चाहूँगा, लेकिन अभी नहीं। वो हीरा लेके वापस आ जाता है और बाबा जी को आगे बताता है कि ये सूरत हाल हुई है। तो बाबा जी कहते हैं बेटा ये जो हीरा है ना, वो एक्चुअली ये पत्थर नहीं है, ये एक्चुअली तुम हो। और ये जो बाकी लोग ये हैं वो तुम्हारे दोस्त हैं जिनके पास तुम जाते हो। कोशिश करो तुम किसी जौहरी के पास बैठो, क्योंकि जब तुम जौहरी के पास बैठोगे तो वो तुम्हें तराशेगा, और हो सकता है कि एकदम तुम ऐसे मकाम पे पहुंच जाओ कि तुम जो है ना बादशाह के ताज के अंदर जाके लग जाओ, बल्कि वो ताज तुम खुद बन जाओ। लेकिन अगर तुम एक ग्रोसरी स्टोर पर जाके बैठ के, ऐसे दोस्तों की कंपनी में जाके बैठ के, ऐसे अपने टाइम को अगर तुमने ऐसे लोगों नेगेटिव एनर्जी के साथ ट्रीट किया, तो तुम्हारी हालत जो है वो उन जैसी हो जानी है। Remember, if you got good friends, if you got leaders in your company, if there are 5 leaders, you are the 6th one. If 5 crooks, 5 addicts, you are the 6th ones. Enjoy, take very good care of your this precious asset that is your mind. I love you. I wish you and I welcome everybody to this forum to share their wisdom, to uplift the mindset or the life of everybody. Be happy, spread happiness. Thank you. Goodbye. Good night.